Hi, my name is Dave Ring with the Office of Statewide Health Planning and Development, Facilities Development Division, Supervisor Health Facilities Review for the North Region Plan Review. This video is for educational purposes to explain the history and proper usage of phased review and collaborative review and construction. Discussion of these integrated reviews within this video is broken up into the 12 parts at the right for easy searching and presented in 6 sessions. Session 1 includes introduction and history. Session 2, statute regulations. Session 3, PIN 50 definition of terms. Session 4, PIN 50 process parameters and goals and best practices. Session 5, sample review matrix, sample review log, and sample integrated review plan. And finally, session 6, designing your review examples and information, and change management process information. Okay, so this is session 5, sample review matrix, sample review log, and sample integrated review plan. So to start off with, it's important to know how to design your matrix. A matrix should include all tasks relevant to the plan review process and schedule. That includes request for integrated review, matrix finalization, pre-submittal meeting, all submittals and plan exchange meetings, and all collaborative workshops. These should all be specified as tasks on your matrix. For each submittal, schedule time for first review, response time, second review, response time, and third review, wrapping up with an over-the-counter. We recommend third review with wrapping up over the counter. Usually people or design teams who are optimistic and only have 1 or 2 back checks, we find sometimes that it goes over and then the schedule is off. The schedule should meet the construction needs. For example, structural review should consider when steel order needs to be placed. So when designing your review and the matrix, you want to ensure that the structural review is far enough along that the structural steel will not change and you can confidently order the steel. Turnaround times in determining how much time you need for OSHPD to do their review. These are some older guidelines that we've used for GNS project, GH&I, post-approval documents. Typically, something that doesn't have main structure is 60 days, back checks are 30 days. Something that has main structure is 80 days, and back checks are 40 days. Just as a guide, this varies obviously with what's in the submittal. Some other turnaround guidelines for your use here are reviews up to $60 million with 1 in-house reviewer. This gives you some idea of working days per million. These are just guidelines to help you determine how much time the review will be in the office, and these typically are for structural. So the sample review matrix here is, this one is for phased plan review only, and this example is for increment 1 foundation frame and increment 2 tentative improvements. So going through this a little bit, you can see the definitions of the type of task that we may be using. So task 1 is a submittal, shown here, submittal to OSHPD. phase 1, 0%, and this is where they're submitting their request for integrated review. So this is the first step in designing your matrix, is when are you going to request the request for integrated review? This is important to put on here because some people submit the matrix and they forget to submit this, and then their schedule is thrown off right from the beginning. Task number 2 is a pre-submittal meeting. So once the request for integrated review is approved and accepted, the pre-submittal meeting can be scheduled. And so that's entered here and shown as the estimated date for the pre-submittal meeting. This also shows a submittal of the finalized matrix. So in the pre-submittal meeting, we discussed the matrix, and here we're finalizing the matrix so that the IRP can be approved. This particular project, and you'll notice these things are kind of color-coded depending on the increment, but this particular project, as we spoke about earlier using tools, this used a preliminary review under an H project. So it's possible to submit prior to doing a phased or any submittals, even a year in advance, to do a preliminary review of the project and get some initial feedback prior to moving forward with the design. So that was done in this project, or this sample. And then task number 5 is the submittal of the structural design criteria and floor loading diagrams. And then here in item 6, we see a submittal and a PE, which a PE is a plan exchange meeting. So this is where the design team is bringing their plans in for increment 2 at 50% of phase 3. So phase 3 is pre-implementation documents. So basically 50% CD, they're submitting segments 1A, unit layout spaces. And you'll note that here they're going to do a back check of the comments that were done in the preliminary review. So moving along with this project, item 7 is a submittal and a plan exchange meeting for a 75% phase 2, which is detailed design. And just so you know, if you go to the last bottom of the samples in the, it gives here what the phases are, so you'll know what they are. So we're 75% detailed design, primary gravity load. And again, these red notes are just guides. Allow enough time for first review, 80 to 90 days. So you'll notice that these dates here reflect this review time. So if we follow this increment 1 in this color here, you'll see that we had a submittal and a plan exchange meeting where the design team came in and met with our designers for an hour and discussed the submittal. And then it's been in here for 80 to 90 days. And when we are done with the review here at 6/1, on 6/2, we schedule a plan exchange meeting for increment 1 for the plan reviewers to discuss with the designers what their comments are. So that's kind of the gist here. And you'll note that here at a plan exchange meeting of increment 1, and then you'll notice that sometime later, which we allow some response time between getting it back and the designers preparing responses, they resubmit, and another plan exchange meeting where they have an opportunity to meet and discuss their responses. And we do increment 1 final documents. And note that we do a back check of task number 9, which is the back check of these comments. So you'll notice that we consider review times, response times, and we put in the matrix the back check of these, and we allow for 2 to 3 back checks, where usually the third back check we can wrap up at the end of the day through an over-the-counter. So the second sample review matrix is for phased collaborative review. The first one was phased review, which you'll note we only scheduled plan exchange meetings. The difference here on this one is collaborative review utilizes collaborative workshops. So it goes along similarly to the phased review. And we have increment 1, but you'll see that when we submit plan exchange meeting here, here's the first submittal of increment 2, the first plan review, where again we back check the preliminary review. You'll see that for that increment 2, well, let's see, for increment 2, for increment 2 here, we scheduled a collaborative workshop. So going back, this review, we expect to go from March 2nd to May 1st. And typically, collaborative workshops are scheduled maybe once a month. So in the matrix, we scheduled a collaborative workshop for increment 2 in the 1st of April. This allows the design team to come in on this day and review their proposed responses to the review, because they are getting comments back weekly. So they're working on the comments as we continue our review. And as they work on comments, they come in periodically in these collaborative workshops and discuss their resolution. So then when they resubmit, which is right here, they're resubmitting and they're doing a back check of task number 6. So that kind of goes through for all these. This is increment 1, and you'll see that we've provided for back checks even through back check 2. Okay, so this helps you. This is a good guide in preparing your sample or your review matrix for your project. The sample review matrix includes segments in a phased review, and those phased review segments do align with our Acela computer system, segments 1A, 1B, 1C. And this 2A is actually the same as that 2A as I found. So I didn't know why that had a capital A, but it's 1A, 1B, 1C, segment 1, 1A, 1B, 1C, and so on. And the 1, 2, 3, 1 is conceptual, 2 is detailed design, 3 is pre-implementation, and 4 is implementation or CD. This is a sample of the review log, and again, as I mentioned before in a previous session, shows the page number, the sheet title, the comment number, the discipline that created the comment date, the person that wrote the comment, the category, and the comment. And these are for collaborative review posted weekly, and for phased review, this is posted when the reviewer completes their review. It's available for industry to view. This is the responses that industry can put in and who did the response, and then this, once the reviewer reviews the comment and the response at back check, they will, if they agree, close the comment. This is a sample of an integrated review plan, or IRP, between the office and the hospital governing authority. This can be used to draft your IRP with this verbiage. It's basically defining who the governing authority is, describes the project, whether it's phased plan review or collaborative review, and defines some terms. The IRP covers the submittal and approval of structural, mechanical, electrical, fire and life safety, and architectural plans for the project name and address here. The project shall include one building only under this IRP. That sometimes may be negotiable. The building is described as proposed, and you'll note that the integrated review plan has an attachment which includes the review matrix. So the review matrix and the project schedule are a part of the integrated review plan and must be submitted at the same time. And this must be acceptable prior to approving the integrated review plan. The integrated review plan has options for fees. And for phased review, if you select 1A or 4A here, you'll see in the next slide there's certain fees. And then for incremental CRC with no phased review, you would use this verbiage. For CRC with no phased review or increments, you would use this verbiage. And for 5, use one of the options below only when 4A is selected. So for phased review with increments or phased collaborative review with increments, you would use this, which basically requires a 10% fee, non-refundable fee upon submittal of the first segment, and then 1.64 or 1.95, depending on its PPR or CRC, based on the cost of each increment, as 100% CD or implementation documents is submitted for each increment. For PPR with no increments or phased CRC with no increments, basically there is the 10% fee, and at the submission of the 100% CD documents, or depending on how the review is broken down, we may require a schedule so that we ensure if there's a lot of phases prior to 100% CD, we may require a schedule so we ensure we get paid for the reviews that we're doing. This is just some more parts of the integrated review plan and the final sign-off pages. So this ends this session. For more information, you can contact Building Standards Unit at regsunit@oshpod.ca.gov.